Hey everyone, this is Dawn and welcome back to my channel. So I'm coming on today to film a video which is in collaboration with Sybil B's hashtag Autumn in August. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know why the name keeps eluding me, but she is, last month Sybil posted hashtag Christmas crafting. That was in July, and I had a lot of fun making those Christmas projects. And this month it's the Autumn in August. I don't know which way I said it before. Autumn in August, hashtag. So this month, I think we're only obligated for this collab to make 2 projects for the month of August and share them, you know, on your YouTube or your Instagram. Make sure you're using the hashtag and tag Sybil. I'm going to leave her video specifically about this collab linked in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. I think it's so much fun. So last month I was pulling out all my Christmas stuff. Now I'm pulling out autumn. In a little special shout out, I am involved in a small group on Instagram. There's only a few of us, the hashtag Crafty Dares, and this week we made a project we get 3 prompts. So the project was to make something with a paper bag, a harvest theme, and to make 3 hang tags. And so what I ended up creating was this tiny little journal, very, very simple. I used a paper bag like this, and then I folded it in half and then in half again. So in 4s, this is what it is. And there is a pocket right here. And then since it's folded in 4s, I just left the inside open. I could glue a side or a top, but at the moment I just left it open. I could even put a little piece of glue here where you can have an extra pocket at the top or on the side. But for now, I just left it. And the paper pad that I used here was this front porch. This is an older Michael's paper pad, and then I loved the tones of this, especially the quilted piece, which you can see I used for the cover and the back, and I just added a small strip inside of the pocket. Gives a little extra stability, and then of course you can see that pretty paper. And then I did use a couple of sheets, also an older paper pad, this Thankful Heart, and I used these Hobby Lobby fall stickers from the past. I think they still have these around. I love the non-traditional colors of these, especially with the pinks, and I like the tones of the oranges as well. So for my 3 tags, I loved the colors of this paper pad because they're a little non-traditional. So these were hang tags, which is like you would find on clothing, and they seem to be rectangular. And I did use an eyelet. A lot of times you'll find them with one of those little, the little rounded safety pins. So I kept them very, very simple. I used a sentiment, a cutout from that paper pad, the front porch, and I just added a pumpkin, used my vintage photo. I put the backs of all of them with the same paper. I thought that was so pretty. It's got the pink in there and the oranges and the yellows. This is old eyelash trim that I had from Hobby Lobby. It's kind of got the fall tones and some twine. And then I did use an eyelet on these, which I hadn't used an eyelet in a long, long time. I have my Crop-a-dile, and I found an old video because I always had the hardest time with that. I found an old video. I think it was from, I can't say who it was from. Strawberry. I can't say. I think of her name. Maybe it's Strawberry Cream. Strawberry somebody. If I find it, I'll link it in the description box below. But it was a great video on how to use your Crop-a-dile. Who knew? And then the simple journal I made has just some twine. I did just 2 dots, and I tied the twine on the outside. And then I just literally used simple papers. Isn't that pretty? This was from that other pad. And then I think I just used 5 sheets of paper. I didn't do anything else other than add a little bit of ink and just made this very, very little simple journal. And then I added, of course, my little tags inside. So anyways, that's my little hashtag Crafty Dares project, because it's already an autumn themed project. Now, what Sybil invited us to do was share what products we might use in our autumn crafting. And I hope you can hear me. I'm down here on the floor. So I just pulled out some things, which is kind of where my head is. I actually just got some newer items, which I'm excited to use and most likely will in this project, or these projects for the month. One of them is this All in Create die. It's called Holy Fun. I love the layering, but it's got like a little distressed edges and it's got the scalloped edges. So pretty. Along those lines with the paper bag junk journal, I think this is a bag I had in my drawer. This is probably, I want to say maybe from Joggles. How pretty they wrap their orders. So many people do such a lovely job. I have some of these, a few different sheets of these like vintage type of harvest type cut aparts. One of the ideas I keep having in my head is kind of going with more plummy, purpley tones. Cone flowers. Last time I was in Ohio, and I don't know if they're fall flowers or not, but they had the cone flowers. My daughter lives in Ohio, and they had the beautiful kind of plummy purple tones of the cone flowers. So I have this stamp from Rubberneck or Die. I've had it for a while. And then I have this Hobby Lobby paper pad, earthy pink, and I'm loving the tones of this. So somehow in my head, I'm seeing that. They also have these pinky tones in this memory box paper. Pardon me. And then also along the lines of the purpley tones, this is an older pad from Michael's, Celestial Wonderland. And when I was making that little journal, I had in my mind, since it was a harvest theme, to kind of go with more blues and purples. And these are sheets that I picked out from this Celestial Wonderland paper, especially this one. I was going to maybe use that one on the cover. And these are gorgeous. And I picked this out from something else, but I like that it kind of went with these colors. Sometimes it's a little tricky when you have white backgrounds versus an off-white or a more natural tone in the background. It kind of throws it off, but I kind of like this together. So that's kind of where my mind has been going a little more for some fall crafting. This here, Autumn Blaze. I don't know if this is last year or the year before. I adore this pad. I adore paper pads that kind of look like mixed media because I'm more of a mixed media want to be. Look at these plum tones. Gorgeous, gorgeous tree. All the leaves. Love things like this. I just love it. Gorgeousness. I was going to use one of these in that little journal, but I didn't. But anyways, loving, loving, loving these tones. So this is one of my very favorites. This is kind of where my mind kind of is. And then I just did a haul video where I got these Whimsy stamp card fronts, which are much primitive, and if you just add a little bit of a frame and you've got some cards, and I just think these are gorgeous. Tina at Crafty Bean told me about these card fronts and I love them. I got the last pack over at Simon Says Stamp. I was trying to get 2 of them, but it wouldn't let me, so I got those. And then from Red Lead Paperworks, also this was in my most recent haul video, I got these wonderful collage sheets. Aren't these just darling? Purple tones. However, we are not going to do Halloween. We're going to stick with the fall. And look, with the little purple dress here. Just a regular pumpkin, not a jack-o'-lantern. And again down here. So, so cute. So I think I'm most definitely going to be using those and the card fronts. I picked up this little simple vintage Autumn Breeze paper pad. So that's an option. I also love seed packet designs. These could be used. And then I got these, which aren't necessarily fall, but I think you could create them fall. Let's see, here's a older sheet of paper that I have. So cute. These are so good for just little extra embellishments. Also too, this is quite cutesy, but sometimes if you just need like a hello friend or the hi or whatever, and maybe even a thank you card, the little pumpkin that says thanks, this can just add a little bit of something. I also pulled out this sheet, Traveler by Minte. The teals and the pinky colors in here. I love this idea for fall. And then look at this wonderful kind of mixed media background. I love these tones. Definitely makes me think fall. And then I did pull out a few stamps. So if I do a small journal, I might could use some of these. These are older things from my stash. I think I got this off eBay a long time ago. This was from the Planner Society. I've never used it, but this little girl holding her pumpkins. She's got her little boots on. So cute. This little Brutus Monroe pumpkin. It says hello pumpkin. A Unity stamp, autumn leaves and pumpkin spice, please. My older girls, especially my middle daughter, loves her when it comes to pumpkin spice season. It's not totally my jam, most people's jam. They love it. This here I've had for a long time and I've never used it. Winds are blowing, LDRS Creative. I have no idea if this was still available because I've had this for a long time, but I love her. Beautiful. Might try to use that. And then I have this Fall is in the Air. I know I got these probably a couple of years ago, and I probably have cut aparts. I'm pretty certain. I don't know where they are to go with this, but they're kind of like the slimline design, and I got this on like a massive clearance, and some of them are pretty cutesy. I don't always like to go cutesy, but some of these backgrounds and other things, and sometimes cutesy's fine. But anyways, I picked these up too. So anyways, I have lots of crafty inspiration around here, so be sure to check out Sybil's channel. And I'm not sure when I'm gonna put up my autumn project, definitely by next weekend. So I want to get started on creating. So anyways, thanks so much for stopping by and watching. Would love it if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one.